to pay their respects to the fallen superstar. Following a memorial service, his body was taken to Seattle, where Bruce and his wife had met and fallen in love. Among those at the funeral were close friends James Coburn and Steve McQueen, who served as pallbearers.
Thank you. May peace be with you.
At the age of only 32, Bruce Lee had left behind a wife, 2 children, and an unrivaled legacy in the world of entertainment and martial arts.
Why was Bruce Lee? Lovely. Hi folks, welcome to the channel. I haven't done a video about Bruce Lee for a while, and I thought I'd do one today and give my theory on how he died. To me, Bruce was mesmerizing to watch, even if he couldn't fight to save his life, as Bruce Lee hater says he couldn't fight. But I believe he was almost unbeatable in no-rules fights. That's my opinion. Whether you agree or not, you also have your opinion and entitled to believe what you believe. So let's leave that debate to another time and concentrate on how he died. Remember, it's just a theory. But there's some points that make sense, and I truly believe that. Anyway, listen and you decide, and any comments, leave them below if this makes sense. Or what do you think happened to Bruce to pass away so young? So without further ado, let's analyze and see where we go with this. Even after 52 years since his passing, Bruce Lee remains an icon, not just in martial arts, but as a legendary figure who transcended cultural boundaries. His name still sparks conversations about whether anyone could ever match his skills, his philosophy, and his uncompromising spirit. Bruce Lee wasn't just a fighter, he was a force of nature, a man who redefined what it means to be a warrior, both in body and mind. What made Bruce Lee extraordinary wasn't just his ability to dominate in a fight. It was his relentless pursuit of perfection. He trained for hours on end, not to master one art, but to master them all. Wing Chun, Western boxing, fencing, wrestling. Bruce didn't just study them. He absorbed them, distilling the essence into a unique philosophy of combat, Jeet Kune Do. This wasn't just a martial arts, it was a way of thinking, a revolutionary idea that challenged traditional limitations. But Bruce's vision went beyond fighting. He wanted to break into Hollywood, to shatter the stereotypes that confined Asian actors to sidekick roles. He dreamed of becoming an international action star, a symbol of power and intellect. This dream drove him relentlessly, sometimes to the point of obsession. While his Hollywood friends like Steve McQueen, James Coburn lived in lap of luxury, Bruce was knocking on doors, struggling to make his mark. The rejections, the racism, and the frustration of being overlooked didn't break him. They only made him push harder. When Hollywood wouldn't give him a chance, he turned to Hong Kong, where he found the success that had eluded him in America. The Chinese audience embraced him, and his partnership with Raman Chow transformed him into a superstar. But even then, it wasn't enough. Bruce wanted more than fame. He wanted to be the best. He was perfectionist, relentlessly pursuing his goals without pause, without rest. He pushed his body to the limits, training every day, every week, every year, no exceptions. The pressure to excel, to outdo his Hollywood friends, to be the greatest action star in the world was a constant weight on his shoulders. And then tragedy struck. At the height of his fame, at just 32 years old, Bruce Lee's life was cut short. The official cause? A cerebral edema, possibly triggered by a reaction to a simple painkiller. But questions linger. Bruce, who was so disciplined, so in control of his body, could his death really have been caused by something as mundane as a headache pill? This is the bit that baffles me. When Bruce broke his back, he must have been taking painkillers. And why didn't then have this problem? And also, what was in his records at that time of breaking his back show if he has any allergy to any medications, or his records wasn't available? Even if they weren't available, he did take painkillers when he broke his back way back in America before he went to Hong Kong. And even in Hong Kong, he was still taking painkillers for his back. I'm sure I read somewhere that he was taking some drugs to ease his back pain, even when he moved to Hong Kong. And rumors say that he was taking other substances, and after taking the pill, this caused reaction, in my opinion. What drugs, we will never know. Or was it the culmination of years of relentless pressure, both physically and mental, and combination of pills and drugs? I believe that's what caused it. Combination of all this. His body, which had been trained to near perfection, was also under constant stress. Doctors noted that he had almost no body fat, an extreme condition that made him both incredibly strong and possibly fragile in ways we still don't fully understand. Could this drive for perfection have made him more vulnerable than he realized? Bruce Lee was also a philosopher deeply influenced by Zen Buddhism and the teachings of Jiddu Krishnamurti. He believed in self liberation through discipline, in transcending both physical and mental limitations. But this pursuit of transcendence may have been a double edged sword, pushing him beyond the limits of what any human body or mind could endure. His move back to Hong Kong brought him the success he had always wanted, but it also intensified his internal struggles. Bruce Lee wasn't content with being a star in Asia, he wanted global recognition. The constant drive to achieve this put unimaginable pressure on him, pressure that ultimately his body couldn't withstand. In the end, Bruce Lee's life and death are a paradox. He was a man who preached balance, yet he lived a life of extremes. His story challenges us to consider the cost of greatness. Was it relentless drive that made him legend, or did that same drive lead to his early death? Imagine what more and how much more could he have accomplished if he had found a way to slow down even for a moment. Bruce Lee remains an enigma, a man whose life was as intense and impactful as his untimely death. His legacy leaves us wondering, was he destined to burn bright and briefly, or could he have been even greater if he had just taken a step back? His story reminds us that even the strongest among us must balance ambition with well being, and that the quest for perfection can come at a steep cost. My conclusion is, why didn't he have this problem in America when he was taking painkillers when he broke his back? And why didn't he have this problem when he moved to Hong Kong and is still taking painkillers for his back? But the combination of stress he put to his mind to be successful as his American friends, relentless training, hours of reading books, and worries about his future if he's going to succeed or not. All this mental stress, drugs, dieting, and weight loss put all together cause the damage and not just the painkiller. So that's my theory. If you want more Bruce Lee stories, please hit the like and subscribe so that I can do more videos on Bruce. Thank you for watching and see you next time, folks.